Martin Seamus Marty McFly is a fictional character in the Back to the Future trilogy. He is portrayed by actor Michael J. Fox. Marty also appears in the animated series, where he was voiced by David Kaufman. In the video game by Telltale Games, he is voiced by A.J. Locascio. In addition, Fox voiced Marty's future counterparts at the end of the game. In 2008, Marty McFly was selected by Empire magazine as the 39th greatest movie character of all time. Eric Stoltz was originally cast as Marty McFly, but after 5 weeks of shooting scenes for the first film, director Robert Zemeckis and executive producer Steven Spielberg chose to recast the role to Fox. Biography: Marty was born in Hill Valley, California in 1968 to a family of Irish descent. Little is known about Marty's life prior to the first Back to the Future film, except for the fact that he set fire to the living room rug when he was 8 years old. In 1985, Marty plays guitar with his group the Pinheads and likes listening to Huey Lewis in the News, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Van Halen. He is also a talented skateboarder and proven to be an excellent shot with a gun, honed by endlessly playing shooting games such as Wild Gunman at his local 7-Eleven. Although Marty is often accident-prone and sometimes thought to lack critical thinking skills, he is nevertheless brave in the face of danger and can be very quick-witted and intelligent. He has shown some good and basic street fighting skills and often throws punches in hand-to-hand confrontations. He is loyal to his family and friends, regardless of whether or not he is estranged with them. His major character flaw is his pride, which causes him to take unnecessary risks to show others that he is not a chicken, as demonstrated at various points throughout the trilogy. However, during a visit in 1885, when his ancestor Seamus McFly points out that his brother, Martin, was killed in an argument when someone questioned his bravery, Marty began to rethink his stance on what other people thought of him. Doc even had at one point implied that Marty could possibly have a similar fate, leading Marty to become more apprehensive of his actions. Biff Tannen's great-grandfather, Buford, goaded Marty into a showdown, which ended with Marty victorious over Buford. However, the experience from this event in addition of following Seamus's examples, changed Marty. This was highlighted when, despite Marty's rival from school Needles' attempts, Marty refused to race him, thus avoiding an automobile accident involving a Rolls-Royce. Marty learned how to base his decisions and actions on his own terms instead of being influenced by others, therefore changing his future for the better. Family: Marty McFly is the youngest of 3 children from George McFly and Lorraine Baines McFly. He has a brother Dave McFly and a sister Linda McFly. His secondary entourage consists of girlfriend Jennifer Parker and best friend Emmett Brown, a scientist whom Marty and Jennifer call Doc. There is an impression that Marty is embarrassed by his family and does not spend much time at home, preferring to hang out with Doc, Jennifer, or the guys in his band, the Pinheads. However, Marty's relationships with his family changed after he returns from 1955, with him no longer being estranged with his parents and his father as a successful writer in the alternate timeline he inadvertently created. Marty also meets his great-great-paternal grandparents Seamus and Maggie, when he was stranded in 1885. He also meets their infant son William, Marty's great-grandfather. Through his interaction with Seamus and Maggie, Marty discovers that Seamus had a brother named Martin, thus Marty's great-great-granduncle, who died prior of the events of the third film. How exactly Marty and Doc met has never been explained, although a draft script for the first film states that, in 1983, Doc turned up at Marty's garage one day and offered him $50 a week, plus free beer and use of his record collection, to clean his garage. This explanation is not accepted by most fans, as it contradicts the characterizations of Marty and Doc as seen in the finished film. Writers Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale say they once considered expanding on their relationship, but decided against it, reasoning that children and adolescents are often drawn to eccentric or mysterious neighbors. By 2015, Marty has married his girlfriend Jennifer and they had twins, Marty Jr. and Marlene, who were born on April 28, 1998. However, the events at the end of Back to the Future Part 3, where Marty avoided the race with needles, may affect the outcome of events as seen in Part 2. Aliases. Marty has had many false names through the Back to the Future series, usually because of encountering his relatives at some point, including Lorraine mistakenly thinking his name is Calvin Klein. In Part 1, Marty uses the alias of Darth Vader, an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan, while wearing a radiation suit to coerce George into asking Lorraine out to the dance. In Part 3, Marty claims to be Clint Eastwood, when asked for a name first by Seamus McFly and later by Buford Tannen. He also has used the name Sonny Crockett, Harry Colohan, Michael Corwan. Marty also posed as his son Marty Jr. in Part 2. Since in Italy and Spain Calvin Klein was practically unknown in 1985, the alias was changed into Levi Strauss, a well-known logo for Italian and Spanish teens in the 1980s. Similarly, in France the name was changed into Pierre Cardin. References. External links. Media related to Marty McFly at Wikimedia Commons, Marty McFly at the Internet Movie Database.